Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Let's Play Rimworld Alpha 16. So we were in the process of making our nice little exterior wall here. I think that's kind of my high priority because after our last raid, I sort of realized that this cooler here is probably one of the first things enemies will target. And on top of that, the major thing is we could very easily get flanked from this side and this side. So I'm going to try my darndest to close up all our holes in our defenses here. One thing, though, is we really need steel, considering we have absolutely none of it. So, I need to close up my defenses, but I also need steel. I'm also, I'll try not to do this too long, but I'm going to disallow sewing, because we have so much food right now. I mean, look at all these bodies that haven't even been slaughtered yet. We've got so much food. I'm going to force this too, because no one's, for some reason, whoever's my cooker has not been doing this at all. I think it's because my cooker has just barely been keeping up with the demand for meals. I want to force this to get done, just because I'm sick of these bodies laying around. I want actual physical food going on here. Alright, oh yeah, one thing I did the other day is I read through what the skills determine, because obviously, like, we all know that just in general, the skills determine, you know, how well someone does, like the high, or oh my god, let me speak clearly here. How high a skill point is determines how well someone performs that skill, you know, it's pretty common sense, but I never knew, like, the exact factors that are determined, or like what's influenced. So obviously, like, the quality of a certain task is influenced by a higher skill, as well as the speed of doing that particular task are influenced by that skill. Also, I'm going to deconstruct this because I think we are now generating enough power through these renewable resources that I don't need to do that anymore. So yes, anyways. Something else I could do. Before I forget, I should really do a, let's see here. Yeah, drop on floor. And, well, drop on floor. I guess once we start getting into slate, I won't care as much. Something else I'm going to do, hopefully I don't get hit by a raid, but I'm going to deconstruct that there, because I'm going to start on this upper wall, and having a, because otherwise if I want to go here, it's a very not direct path, so I'm just doing that to make our lives a little easier. So let's start on this. How big do I want to make this wall anyways? Suppose that's pretty decent. I'll go to, like, right there, and then we'll do something like that. And that's going to take a very long time, so I think I'm just going to sit on my hands for a little, because that's going to take quite a while. Yeah, we're going to need more, even more than what we've got designated right now, I do believe. So yes, anyways, when I was looking at the different skills and what they determine, there was two things I didn't know, which is good to know, is apparently if you've got a higher cooking skill, it actually increases the yield of meat you get from butchering, which I'm surprised by, because I knew it, like, influenced the speed, but I did not know that it influenced the amount of meat you got, which is interesting. And same with the brick building. If you've got a high crafting skill, it actually influences the amount of blocks you get out of the brick, or out of these chunks. So I didn't know that either. So that's a good thing to know, is that it seems like tasks that have to do with creating, like, a certain, like, refining a certain resource from something else, the skill determines how much of that resource you get, which is definitely something that should be kept in mind, because I did not know that. Alright, so that's getting worked on over there. I think, what did I make? I made a moisture pump, I believe. Very slowly removes moisture from nearby terrain, converting marshes or shallow water into dry ground, not affect deep water. So, if I want to, I can completely remove this and this marsh, which is a good thing to know. I think I might do that. I'm curious, does it need electricity though? It doesn't seem like it. It takes 75 steel and 5 components. Oh yeah, and speaking of steel, or I shouldn't say steel, but components, we've got some somewhere down here, I do believe, and for whatever reason we lost them. So let's see if I can find them. Okay, there they are. Yeah, I think we got hit with a raid or something while I was in the process of hauling these nice little components here. So let's just haul those before I forget. Yeah, because I keep looking at my amount of components. Well, now we're completely out of them. Now we've got 34, so that's good. Yeah, I've kept looking at that, and I've been getting concerned because of how few it is. Oh, and someone could go ahead and, just to do so, put these poor little robots out of their misery. Yeah, I think we were right. Ooh, and we can remove this guy's blades and then shut him down. That is a good decision. Awesome. We can actually sell those blades for quite a bit. If we wanted to, we could completely remove someone's hands and give them those as hands, but I don't think that's the best decision I've ever had, so I don't think I'm going to do that. Also, it really annoys me that there's this small stack of slate that's sticking in the door. I don't know why, but that just really annoys me. We have a lot of slate, too. I think I can bring that almost all the way down. Actually, I'm just going to bring it all the way down because we have got so much slate. I think it might just be enough to convert all of this, but before I do the conversion, I will finish these outside walls, I do believe. I hope we can, at the very least, get these ones down before we get another raid, because that will make raids so much easier to deal with. Because, you know, only having to worry about down here, and I suppose I should seal this off too, to be perfectly honest. I just want to make sure we get all this steel first, though, is my main concern. Okay, who is not a constructor? Let me see that. Okay, you are a constructor. I'm going to make you really into mining, Mr. Crumble. Another thing, tattered apparel. Vibes, you've got tattered apparel, because I just built this. And, oh yeah, we don't have pants. Yeah, I think I made a couple pants. So let me see, who else needs to be taken care of here? Okay, you are sad about wearing that shirt. Okay, let me do something else. It's going to be long and tedious, but I should probably just do this off screen, but I'm not going to because I'm stupid like that. Alright, I'm doing that, and then what I'm going to do, and I don't know why I never did this. I think I did this in the alternate timeline. Oh, no. Okay, I do want this to be anything. I don't want to replace the entire class. Okay, new outfit. There we go. I'm going to make one specifically for brawlers. So, brawler, and then I'm going to remove this, and this, and this. Well, I guess if we can ever get those, I would want them, but the chances of us getting any of those are very, very low. Alright. Parka, jacket, tribal wear. That's pretty good. So now, Sloth, you are a brawler. And who's the other one? Depp. And Depp, you are also a brawler. Cool beans. So now that we've got these newfound brawlers, that should, well, it should help them actually wear shields, but that means us getting shields in the first place, of course. We did get one in that alternate timeline, but unfortunately, they didn't last us very long. Oh yeah, and something I just remembered. Well, two things I remembered. There's two things people either asked me or said to me, so I'm just gonna, I guess, briefly mention them. For one, someone asked me, well, I think they were just, like, poking fun at the fact that I use Fahrenheit, so they wondered, I think they wondered what something meant or something like that. So here's just a rundown. If you don't know anything about Fahrenheit, here's just sort of some basic facts. 32 is freezing point of water. 200 is boiling point. So you don't really need to care about that. But I'd say, like, at least for me personally, like, I live in Wisconsin, which is sort of a somewhat temperate climate, I guess. Oh my god, a panther just became self-tamed. That's interesting. I'd say that, like, a really hot day in the summer would be about 100 degrees Fahrenheit or so. Like, that'd be a really hot day. Like, typically in the summer, it gets up to about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's for, like, a temperate sort of climate, although we have pretty harsh winters, too. I'd say our weather is similar to Europe, like a lot of parts of Europe, I should say. probably like some middle parts of Europe. So if you're anywhere in Europe, basically, this is what is relevant to you, I guess, if you don't know anything about Fahrenheit. So yeah, like 90 or so is like a hot day in the summer. 100 is like a really hot day. 70s is, well, 70 is room temperature, so that's pretty much what a comfortable temperature is. And I'd say like in the winter it can get to like -5, but it can get up to like -35 wind chill. And that's one thing, as I remember, I think my German professor said this because she was actually from Germany. She told us that in Germany, and I'm assuming most of Europe, they don't even use wind chill. Like, wind chill isn't a thing. So I think there's one thing where we actually have a bit of science we use that's more we're a bit of ahead with our usage of units in that one situation. Because wind chill is basically, it's taking into account how wind affects temperature, because obviously when you've got wind, it decreases, temperature of a surface, so it's basically saying what it feels like. And that's usually what all the news stations use. They just say it feels like temperature. So it's taking into account things like humidity and, I think, wind, of course, to tell you how cold it really feels like once you take into account strong winds and things of that nature. So yes, it can get to like -35 if it's really, really cold, but I'd say on average in the winter it's probably from like 0 to 20. And and on bad days it can get to like -10. I mean, obviously there's been times where it's gotten to like -35 without wind chill. So including wind chill, that's like -55, but for the most part, that's a good range. I'm assuming none of you will remember that. That's, I think, my hardest thing with Celsius, though, is, like, the only things I know about Celsius are 0 degrees is, freezing, 100 degrees is boiling of water, but I don't really have a feel for anything in between there. Like, I know 25 is about room temperature. I think it's, like, 22 or so. I think we just always use 25 in, like, engineering calculations, just because that's giving a nice bit of, it's giving you a bit of a comfort range, or I guess not comfort range, but tolerances, I guess. We always just use 25 as room temperature, and I think it's also just because it's an easier number to work with than like 21 or something. So yes, I know that's all I really know is like that 21 or so is room temperature. So all I really know is that between 0 and 21 it's cold, and above 21 it's pretty hot. That's really all I know, so that's why I'd ever use it. To be honest, I feel like in a way Fahrenheit is a little bit more, I don't know, exact, I guess. And that's just because there's a greater difference between freezing point and boiling point of water with Fahrenheit than there is with Celsius. So 1 degrees in Celsius is a really big difference. Like, if I say it's 10 degrees and compared to 12 degrees, that's a pretty big difference. But if it's 10 degrees versus 12 degrees in Fahrenheit, that's not really much of a difference, I don't think. So that's another thing, is with Celsius, you kind of have to know what each individual degree feels like in a way. But in Fahrenheit, a single degree doesn't make too much of a difference. So I think those are two things that scare me away from using Celsius at all. And obviously it's the fact that in America, you don't see Celsius anywhere. Like, I don't even think news stations show Celsius when they show temperatures. Like, maybe they're like in a little corner, like a small, underlying text. But it's not convenient with the way America has things set up at all to use that. Okay, and we've got 2 people that are idle, so let's find out what they can do. Oh yeah, you made art, didn't you? Yeah, you know what, William? You make some more art for us. How about that? I'll have you make like 3. How about that? And look at that, we're almost done with the wall. It's taken us so long, but we are so close right now. I'm very happy about that. Oh, and we got most of the mining done. Yeah, I went off on such a tangent with temperature. What a thrilling topic, too. But I went off on such a tangent. I kind of just forgot about everything. Oh yeah, and Ambi, I should give you something to research because you're not really good for much else. So let's just research everything random. Oh yeah, so anyways, something else someone mentioned to me. Yeah, that was my original topic that I was talking about before I went off on a tangent. Is someone mentioned, because I think I asked for suggestions for something other than just a regular kill box. And someone mentioned I could make like a room that I force people through. And then I basically, like, close the doors on them and burn them alive with, like, Molotovs. Although, one, I don't have Molotovs, so that wouldn't work very well. But, secondly, I don't think that's a very good idea, at least not this early in the game. Or at least not with the way things have been going for us so far. Because we have gotten very terrible weaponry. Like, we still have a lot of very early game weaponry right now. So if I actually manage to get a raid, because I think it's been very long since we've gotten a regular, like, bandit raid. For some odd reason, it's really annoying whenever it goes this long without a regular, like, pirate raid. And, oh, we got that done, so let's seal this off. Awesome, sauceum. So yes, it's been a very long time since we've had a regular bandit raid or anything like that. You know what? I don't even need to go this far. I just realized our base is completely massive with how I have these walls right now. So I think that going this far is kind of overkill. I kind of just want to go like this far or so. I want to go like that, and then I can make a little thing like going this way. I think I'll go like this, maybe. I think what I really need to do is just figure out how I'm going to make these defenses. I think I'll go one more this way, and then I'll start going in this direction. Alright, that sounds pretty good. So then I'm going to want to keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually perfect right there. Alright, so that makes more sense, because I don't need all this empty marsh right here. That's completely pointless, taking up a bunch of empty marsh. So that was a waste of time right there. I should really be cutting it off around here. Although I've got marsh in my way here. I could make a moisture pump just to try it out. You know what, I've never used one of these before, so I'm gonna just make one just to see how it works exactly. Alright, cargo pods, cloth, not necessary. We already have, I think, a metric shit ton of cloth. Yes, that's a good unit right there. Metric shit ton. I think that's that's the new metric system I'm going to make, is the word metric ton will be replaced with metric shit ton. All in favor say aye. Fortunately, I can't. I'll just have to imagine that people said aye when I said that, but we'll see. Okay. Pretty cool beans. Got the base almost. And the reason I made such a large area here is, of course, because gotta have that lovely growing area. I mean, this is kind of excessive how much growing area I'm gonna have here, but I'm fine with that. Growing area is always fun. Oh, and I can make a legitimate prison here too now that I've made a wall all around. I don't have to worry about people busting in my housing, so I think I'll do that. Okay, how wide is this? 7. I'm gonna just do it for symmetricality here. Okay, let's just do that, because otherwise I'll forget where I placed it. There we go. And another auto door. I've been using a lot of auto doors, almost to an excessive amount, I think, but whatever. Hasn't caused us too many problems yet. Yet is the key word there. I also really want to mine through there, because otherwise, if someone's somewhere over here and they want to go over here, that's a very long journey. So doing this will make us have full access around our main base here. Awesome. Almost got this other little section here taken care of. So yeah, once this wall's built, we'll already have a sort of semi-tunnel going on. Like, it's not completely enclosed, of course, so it's not the best defenses ever, but it's semi-decent. How much steel do we have? Oh, okay, let me do this first. I'm gonna have someone deconstruct that as well, so once they get done constructing this, they'll start deconstructing that. And then I'm going to make sure everyone hauls that steel, because having everyone have to go all the way around makes 0 sense. Okay, done. Slowly but surely. Vibes, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Oh, now Vibes has intense pain. I think Sloth... Oh, awesome. Sloth got over that. Sweet. No wonder Sloth's been in such a good mood. It almost seems like you need to not heal the disease, because once it gets to the point where you have intense pain, they seem to get over it a lot quicker. That's interesting to note. Okay, pemmican. That was something I just researched because I can. I guess something that might be useful is mortars. Yeah, let me just look for some things that could be useful for me in the long run. Oh, you know what? I could do carpeting. Oh, let me do that. We've got so much cloth sitting around. Yeah, I should have done that earlier. We've got 1,000 cloth. I could carpet everyone's bedroom, and that would make our people pretty happy, I think. I forgot, we have this cute little panther here. I think I did assign it for training, didn't I? Or no, that's not our cute little panther. Where's our cute little panther? There is my cute little panther. Aww. I'm surprised something like a panther would ever... I don't think I've ever had a panther become self-tamed, so that was a first for me. We've got so much slate, too. I'm gonna... Well, I've already mentioned this. I'm gonna mine through all the rest of this if I can. I don't think there's any overhead mountains here, so I'm okay with doing this. I will make sure... I'll make sure to check, but I don't believe we should have to worry about that. The temperature is very nice out as well, so... The nice foggy 73 degrees Fahrenheit, so... I'll make sure... Or that, yeah, everyone shouldn't complain too much about this getting opened up. Oh, hey, I also never reconstructed that. Although now this really doesn't need to be... Yeah, you know what? This doesn't need to be doubled anymore. I kind of just did that because I was afraid of someone busting through and attacking us, but... Now that we've got this wall, this really doesn't need to be doubled anymore. Okay, that's a good thing. Oh, that's too bad, though, because now what I could do is I could move every one of these back one, and then I'd have... Yeah, you can't move these, though. That sucks. Yeah, that's one thing that I know there's a mod for. Those are, like, one of the few mods that I'd really wish I used. Oh, my God. Psychic ship. Where is this ship? Oh, it's all the way up here. That's annoying. I suppose it's relatively close to our power grid. I think I'll do what I typically do in this situation. Okay, fortunately this thing seems to generate snow, so it tends to put out the fires it starts whenever it gets created. Alright, this is going to cause some major mood debuffs. A lot of my people's bodies are destroyed. Oh my god, when did that happen? How long has that happened? Stomach, oh my god. Red hasn't had a stomach for who knows how long. Somehow I think he's still been eating, but I'm not sure. I don't know when that happened. Might have been the disease, actually. Did he have a disease? Oh my. What the hell? Yeah, he's still able to eat somehow, even with a completely destroyed stomach. I don't think that's physically possible. If you don't have a stomach, I don't know how you can digest food. But, oh my, and now that I've just completely destroyed this part of the base... Alright, I don't think there's any overhead mountain here. But I'm definitely going to make sure. Yeah, there's pretty much just a lot of constructed roofing, which means... Okay, so now that we've got all this area here that we can do with what we will... Do that. Construct that. Got a lot of area here to work with. I'm going to make a massive rec room. And I'll make it a little bit weirdly shaped as well. So I can maybe put like a TV right here. Yeah, that's a good idea, I think. I can even refine these walls if... I might as well while I'm doing this. This is where I don't want to mine through, though, because that's where the overhead mountain is. That's where I'm scared of. Alright, sweet, though. This is pretty good looking. Yeah, and I think I'm going to end this episode here. So thank you all for watching. Hope to see you next time. Hope you enjoyed my random rant on units when it comes to temperature. I don't know why I did that, but thank you for watching anyways, and goodbye.